What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of the week for this monthly spread is going to be business and all the ways that you can build your empire, Scorpio. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems are feeling good, just good vibrations all around. Now, with this business monthly business spread, Scorpio, I'm going to be doing pulling 10 cards, and of course a good old surprise card at the end. And in case y'all were curious, bringing back my very first one that started off this channel, good old Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. And I included a link for this deck and the smaller version of this deck too, because I got the massive one, and I've gotten better at shuffling since we started, but only ever so slightly. I included a link for this one, the smaller version, and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So check that out if you're interested, Scorpio. But let's go ahead and get into your reading here. The first card is going to represent the current situation. So, higher self, where is Scorpio at currently in their business situation? Let's see where you at, Scorpio. What's been going on? Let's see what's cooking in Scorpio's world. Oh, okay. We have the 10 of Wands here. And so I feel like we might be at our wits' end, Scorpio. And because the 10 of Wands this is really one of my hottest cards in the deck here. This is very, it's about a card of oppression and repression, and almost like just feeling like your energies are just being bottled up and they have nowhere to go, you know. It could be, and I feel like a couple things could be starting, you know, could be causing this energy. Maybe for some, if we're in, we're depending on the where you're working at right now. Maybe we've been dealing with some things at work that maybe we're dealing with like a situation that's got us where we're feeling maybe we're feeling a little trapped. Maybe we're not sure how to make a move. You know, we want to get out of this thing, but you know, maybe we're not sure if we have any other skills. Because the 10 of Wands, it really can, I feel like it can get you in this place of where you're so frustrated and you're so frazzled and you don't know what to do, and it just really just kind of, you know, it just puts you in a weird place, and it just like halts everything. And I feel like maybe for some we feel like maybe we're trapped and we have no other alternatives but to deal with this thing. Or maybe for some others, you know, maybe something, if we got like our own business, maybe things aren't taking off, maybe we've hit like mad hiccups along the way, or even like one, you know, take this as it resonates, but things are not ideal with this energy here. And so I feel like if this is where the situation is at, it's time to just take a second and just like, what's going on? Sit with this, Scorpio. You know, whenever you have some time, and it may be time to start making some moves here. You know, try to figure out, how do we get out of this hot energy here? Because this 10 of Wands that's a tough energy to be in for a long period of time here, because this is like, this is Saturn and Sagittarius here. And you think about Sagittarius as, you know, their energy is about that expansion, is about that growth. And then you have Saturn here that's restricting that. You know, it's time to address that. You know, what's restricting you from growing? You know, what's restricting you from going out and trying new things, from having that fun, you know, from really just experiencing life. So let's go ahead and get to your, yeah, that's a tough start, Scorpio. Let's get to your second card here. Let's find out a little bit more about what's going on with that. The second card is going to be the challenge that's going on right now. So, higher self, what is the challenge that Scorpio's facing right now? Like, if this isn't already a challenge here, what's causing this this situation right now? Let's see. Let's get a little bit more in depth in that here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. You got the 5 of Cups here. And so I feel like with this popping up, it's kind of like what I was saying at the beginning here. I feel like maybe we're at this place where it's just like, maybe we feel like we made a wrong decision with this thing, with like either the job that we're in, or maybe even the business that we've started, or maybe even like what we've partnered, maybe we've partnered up with someone and that's not working out. However this is looking, we're in a place of disappointment here. We're just like, you not only are you just like heated by this thing, but now we're in a state of just like where we feel let down here. And if you can see like how this like with all the cups in this deck, usually there's like a body of water or something here, but everything is dried up. Everything is dried up and is dying. It's just like really just kind of just sad energy right here. Like the Five of Cups is about feeling like you've been, not only that you've been disappointed, but that you've maybe let yourself down, or others have let you down, or just like unexpected disturbances along the way. But when we have this energy here, is what I was trying to get at. When we have this energy here and we're staying in this thing, this like dries up all of our whole ocean here, and this is weird, Scorpio. This is intense kind of energy to be with, and I feel like I can't tell you what to do here, but since you're in your in your outside of your own, since you're in your secondary safe space here, I feel like it may be time to change some things up here, Scorpio. Whether that be maybe looking for a new opportunity. Maybe it could even come down to maybe we need to even reduce some hours. If we started our own business, maybe it's one, show yourself for anybody who's going through this, show yourself some mad compassion. But it's time to start making some moves here. It's time to start getting ahead of this thing, because if we stay in this thing, we're just reacting all the time. And in Mars retrograde, Mars is all about that. If it wants you to grow, when Mars is one of your rulers, but in the attempts, and how funny, this is Mars in Scorpio here, and if you want that growth, sometimes we have to get control of this, of all of this here. So I feel like that's the only way that we're going to start getting to alleviate some of this stuff, is we're going to have to change some, whatever is causing this in our environment, Scorpio. But again, I can't tell you what to do, but I'd hate to see you stay in this longer than I feel like you should, but everyone's journey is different, and know that I'm going to be with you along the way. Doesn't matter however long it takes. I got your back, Scorpio. So let's get into your third card here. I just did Pisces. That's what that slip. That, and I'm sensing some of the Pisces in your chart, Scorpio. So you like that? I hope you do, because this is tough, and I just want to try to help get a rise out of you. But let's get to your third card here, which is where you can find some help at this time. So higher self. Where is it that Scorpio can kind of find some help with this thing? Let's see where we can maybe find some assistance with this, Scorpio. Okay, so yeah, this is really tough here. Yeah, okay. You got the Four of Discs here, and I'm with it. I feel like it's about time to kind of and I feel like this is more so this is going to be where you're going to need to. This is going to be on you, Scorpio, to kind of find that stability again. I feel like it's time to get your power back in this situation here, because that's what the Four of Discs is about. It's about getting that, like, it's about law and order, and not even in the sense of just like, I'm not thinking like, you know what I mean in this, it's about really kind of getting that stability back there, getting a different foundation from this thing here. We need to get this thing grounded and figure out what's going on here, because this is the Sun in Capricorn here, and I feel like it's about time we need to shine some light and then start putting in the work to get this thing done, start dealing with this thing. Because like I was saying, if we sit in this too long, this is going to be, mind, you're going to get some great lessons from this, because these are two of my mindfulness cards here. Strengths waiting to be discovered, but it's going to be a tricky discovery period, depending how long we stay in this thing. So I feel like either finding some ways for you taking steps to get to the stability here, or maybe finding someone who embodies this energy, someone who can maybe assist you with stuff, because maybe it could be two. Maybe you're just inundated with all types of stuff. We're dealing with work things, we got home things, we got, life things are just maybe just, it feels like everything is just all happening at once. And it might be time to, maybe we just need to delegate some, you know, find some people who are, can help get this order here, get you that stability, so that we can feel like so that we can get control of this thing, so that we're not just staying upset and then being disappointed at the fact that we got upset, you know, and getting stuck in that kind of sick spiral there. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind, okay? But let's get to your fourth card here, which is going to be some long-term gains. So higher self, what are some potential long-term gains that Scorpio can expect at this time? You know, we're starting to put in some work, I'm hoping, and, you know, let's see what we can expect in the long term for this. Let's see. Nice. You got the Ace of Swords here. And the Ace of Swords is a card of understanding, you know, a card of that enlightenment, that clarity that's coming for you. And it also represents the strength to meet adversity. You know, any kind of this type of obstacles here that you're going on, this is your weapon. Meet that with meet this clarity with this stuff here, and keep in mind that, you know, that this doesn't make you, Scorpio. This is just something we're feeling right now, but we're more than our feelings here. You know, feel this thing out, let it heal, and then let's start getting that momentum back. Let's start keeping it moving, you know, because we got work that we need to do. And that's where I feel like, you know, over the long term, you know, if you work on this thing, you're gonna see that you'll be able to look back at this thing and laugh at it. You know, like, man, I was in a different place here, but now when something like that tries to get you in this Ten of Wands situation again, you're gonna be able to look at that just like, psh, please, you coming at me with nonsense, catch the sword. So I feel like, you know, it's with time, you know, that you are going to be able to move on from this thing. And if this is resonating with you, you know, I'm not sure it will. It's hard to see it when you're in it, but just trust that with some initiative and, you know, in good intentions, you know, like if you're focusing, that's your main focus. It's just like, I want to feel better. I'm going to feel at my best again. Then the universe, it feels that thing like a beacon, and that's going to come back to you. But if you're saying like, gosh, you know, everything just goes wrong for me, blah, 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 I'm never going to do over this thing, the universe is just like it was a beacon for that, it's going to be a beacon for those kind of emotions here too. So let's be mindful of what we're saying here, because this Ace of Swords, even though you got this clarity, it's a double-edged sword. Because if we realize that, you know, that we have control over this thing, but we're still spiraling, now it's at this point, it's like the ball's in your court here, Scorpio. So let's get to your fifth card here, which is going to be some short-term gains. So higher self, what are some short-term gains that Scorpio can expect at this time? Let's see what short-term stuff is coming up here, Scorpio. Okay. Nice. You got the Two of Swords here, and that's what I'm talking about. Some peace, some of that mental strife is going to come down a little bit, because that's what this is about. This is about getting that balance. You know, we've been going through it, and now we're coming on the other end of it. You know, that's going to be some short-term stuff. You know, like, and then you'll be able to, when we get back to, because this type of stuff here, this affects how you operate and work. You know, if you let this stuff fester, you may feel like you have control of it in your world right now, but it does. You know, if you let that sit and let that sit, this Ten of Wands here is heating up this disappointment right here, and that smoke and all of that, because remember, you don't got any more water in this ocean right here, nor in these cups. So all that smoke is going to go out into your world here if we don't deal with this thing, and then you're going to be, you know, now we're just adding on to more frustrations here, because now we may be, next thing you know, we're up for performance reviews. You know, we're dropping the ball. You know, we're forgetting things. We're getting sloppy. You know what I mean? And so I feel like, you know, the short-term thing is just to start free yourself up, free yourself from this thing. You know, it's happened and that's it. You know, it sucked. It's, you know, that doesn't diminish the fact that this sucked, but allow yourself some clarity, or, you know, and allow yourself that peace of mind again. You know, you don't have to hold this on to this forever. You know, we can get that balance again, Scorpio. So just keep that in mind. You know, let's get to your sixth card here, which is going to be your strength. So let's see what power we're working with here. You know, we're starting to. I see the shift here, Scorpio. We're starting to get there. Let's see what strength we're working with. Higher self. What are some strengths that Scorpio's working with right now? Let's see what you got at your disposal here, Scorpio. Ooh, thank you, higher self. Nice. You got the Five of Wands here. And I know that doesn't seem nice at first, because this is another one of my hot cards here. And this is a card of frustration, and it's a card of strife and whatnot, and a card of combativeness and all of that. But I feel like this coming up as your strength is that I feel like it's less about the frustration there, and I feel like it's more kind of embodying the tenacity that you have to meet this thing. You know, I feel like you're going to come at this with that. You're going to match this heat, and you're going to match it with some heat. You're going to bring your own type of stuff here, you know, if that makes sense. You know, this is going to be something that is just like, okay, I've been going through this thing, but it's time to take some action. I'm fed up with feeling like that. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So now we're going to do something about it, you know. And I feel like that's what this energy, and that's a weird way to kind of read this. That's normally not how this is read here, but I feel like this is something like I feel like you are just meeting this energy head on here. But let's get a little clarification on that. Higher self, can we clarify the Five of Wands, please? Yeah, let's get a little bit more, just a little bit more on that. Oh, yeah, okay. You got the Lovers here. And so I feel like with this popping up, this is kind of like this is that realization when I was saying, like, you know, you're fed up. We've had enough of feeling like this here. I feel like now your higher self has heard that, because this to me, and like the Lovers in this deck is almost like your higher self kind of like winking at you in this thing. It's like, okay, finally, Scorpio, now we're ready to get out of this thing, and higher self is just like, yes, absolutely, move over, Five of Wands, I'm taking over here. And that's what I feel like is happening. You know, that this strength is the realization here that you've realized your capacity. I really hope that makes sense, because I feel like your strength is at realizing when you've had enough, and taking action for that. That's really I don't know how else to put that, Scorpio. I hope that makes sense. Let's go ahead and get to your seventh card here, which is going to be a weakness that we're focusing on. So higher self, what are some weaknesses that oops, oh, hold on, Scorpio. Okay. But higher self, what are some weaknesses that Scorpio's working with, or how I like to call them, strengths waiting to be discovered? You know, what are some strengths waiting to be discovered for Scorpio here? Oops. Nice. You got the Eight of Cups here. And I feel like with this, so maybe right now, you know, we've been feeling kind of stuck in this thing, because the Eight of Cups is a card of indolence. You know, it's a card of like not, you know, there's no more momentum here. You know, we've kind of had it. Now we're just sort of like, it's almost like we get to this place of just like, we don't care anymore. You know, we're just like, whatever. You know, life will just kind of, it'll just figure itself out here. But that's, to me, you know, that's kind of like surrendering. And I feel like for some of us, if maybe we don't recognize that strength, you know, to move forward here, I feel like this is popping up here to almost like kind of to like solidify this thing. Like, if you don't feel like you can do this thing, well, then let's tap into this thing right here, because this is both honestly, the way these popped up here, to have two mindfulness cards and your kind of your strength and weaknesses here, this is a weird combo for me, to be honest, but I feel like it's more so just like really about remembering that you do have the fire to tackle this thing. You know, it may be a lot right now, and it's got us to this place where we don't feel like moving, you know, where we don't feel like just can't be bothered. But over time, this is going to get exhausting. You believe it or not doing anything and just like sort of like stewing in this stuff and just kind of like checking out or whatever, just not even, you know what I mean, not being bothered. That's going to get exhausting over time. And eventually, you know, however long it takes for you, Scorpio, we're going to have to get that momentum again. We got to get that drive. So, you know, I can't tell you what to do, but let's try not to get caught where we're like stuck in this thing. You know, I'm all for, you know, wanting to heal and, you know, allowing it stuff that time, but I don't feel like we should let this thing slow us down or get it to this place where we're feeling like this has such control over us that we won't be able to operate or do anything again. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on from that. Let's get to your 8th card here, which is going to be what to focus on focus on in the present. So, higher self, where is it that Scorpio should kind of be focusing on right now? Where are some areas that kind of need Scorpio's focus at this time? Let's see what's going on for you there, Scorpio. Oh, okay, yeah. Ha. You got the 10 of Cups here, Scorpio, and I couldn't agree more. Focus on your happiness. Focus on what's going to fill your cups. Because if we're our business, whether we're working for someone or we have our own business, I feel like shouldn't have us feeling like this. It's one thing to, I feel like 5 of Wands is understandable. Sometimes we can get frustrated with things, you know, let's say, for example, when I have like camera problems or technical difficulties or whatnot, you know, I feel like those things are, they can happen, but if we're feeling like this all the time, that's not the place to be. You know, I feel like that's not an environment that's, you know, conducive to growth. You know, we want to try to focus on things that are going to bring us happiness here. This is Mars and Pisces, I want to say, yes. And this is, you know, this is Mars and Pisces here. And I feel like you're getting a lot of cards that are just like, we got a lot of restrictions and a lot of actions that need to be taken here. Because you got, you know, Saturn, in these 2 cards, 3 cards here, and then we got Mars and these cards here in your mindfulness. And I feel like it's about time to, the reason we're feeling so stuck is that we need to take a different form of action. And this is the action that you need to take here towards your happiness, that thing that's going to fill up all your cups. You know, even if that means if we got to, and Scorpio, this is not me telling you you should quit your job. You know, let's be practical about this thing. But if our job is not making us happy, or if what we're doing not making us happy, let's find ways that we can maybe try to phase this thing out and welcome in some more of this. You know, breathe in this into our realm here, because that's how you're going to get to this that's the best way to get to this 2 of Swords energy here, and to even get to this 4 of Disc energy right here, is to embody what fulfills you and what brings you love. Because if we're, you know, no one's gonna, like, I feel like when you get to this place, you know, when we get to like old age, you know, no one's gonna look back and think like, man, I wish I would have worked more. No, it's like, man, I wish I would have did what I loved, you know. And I don't want you to get to this place where you're looking back and thinking, man, I spent so much time being frustrated and all this thing. If only I did what I love. Let's take that step now, Scorpio. We got eyes on it. You've seen it, I've seen it. Now let's do something about it. Let's go out there and get it, okay? Now let's get to the 9th card here, which is going to be what to focus on in the future. So, higher self, what is it that Scorpio should focus on in the future? Let's see. Let's see where we should kind of have our eyes on the what's our prize. Let's see. What to focus on there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ha. Queen of Disc here, and I like that. Figure out what this is, Scorpio. What it is that makes you happy. Because when I think about because this is perfect for the future here. Because I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of a glare. But the Queen of Disc here, there's this open field that she's looking out over here. It's just blank canvas. And if someone told her, girl, take your fulfillment here and fill this plane up with whatever you love here, she's like, girl, get out my way. I already got this. Like, oh, I'm about to do this, that. Like, the Queen of Disc is coming with that enthusiasm here. So I feel like the thing to focus on here is to how we can take this and apply this to our world here. Because this is Capricorn, More Capricorn energy right here. Let's go ahead and go out there and start putting in that work. Because then when you're doing something that you love, I shouldn't even say go out there and do that work. Let's go out there and do what you love. Because when you start doing this thing and we start applying love to it and this is like fulfilling us and all that stuff, that's not work anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 of Cups. That's not work anymore. That's your passion. That's your drive. That's your fulfillment. And that's what Queen of Disc is about. She's about doing all those things that she loves, and she's cutting up. And you know what? She's going to make a profit too while she's at it because she's just resourceful like that, Scorpio, and so are you. You know, that's... this is absolutely within your grasp. And I feel like that is something to good future. I'm with that all the way. Let's get to your last card here, which is going to be some opportunities. So, higher self, what are some opportunities? You know, now that we're, and I hope now we've, you know, we're at least maybe thinking about taking some steps now. Higher self, what are some opportunities that are coming in for Scorpio at this time? Let's see, you know, now we're, now the story's trying to take a nice turn here. You know, what's, where are we going with this thing? Let's see. Nice. What's one more Capricorn card for the win? You got the Two of Disc here. And I feel like the opportunity is coming for this is that balance that we were looking for here. This just balance all over the place. And this, I love the Two of Disc in the sense of like, this is like my work smart, play smart card. You know, it's about finding that you know, we want to be in this place, you know, when we're working, you know, we're doing our business. And then when we're enjoying, you know, we're enjoying our fun here because this is the light part here. I like to say this is Jupiter. This is your fortune right here because that's what Jupiter represents. Fortune, expansion, all of that. And then Capricorn, when we get to this energy, you know, this is us putting in that shadow work, doing our stuff here. But ultimately, we want to get to this sweet spot here, right in the middle. And that's where fulfillment is. That's where the happiness is. Scorpio, let's switch back over. That's where fulfillment, that's where the happiness is. That's where the money's at. You know, and that's how we do this thing, you know, where we, you know, because I feel like we've come from a culture where it's like, you know, for the longest time, the mantra was like, yes, got to work hard and play hard. Well, if you did that, you know, you're working real hard. You're so exhausted that you can't even appreciate your play. You almost got to like force to play. And then once you're done playing, you know, it's like, crap, I got to get back to work. You know, there's no balance, you know, and that's where I feel like how we get to this, this combo here, because this Scorpio is intense. And it doesn't have to be that way, because if we just focus on what fills us, what gets us out of bed in the morning, that just gives us that carpe diem, you know, that seize the day type of feeling, then it's not work anymore. It's what you want to do, and then all of that frustration washes away, those restrictions wash away, all this Saturn energy washes away because you've got the lesson from this thing. Because that's all Saturn wants to do. It wants us, believe it or not, it wants us to expand, but sometimes we have to be restricted and realize that and want more for ourselves. And then that's how I feel like that expansion happens here. So just keep that in mind. I feel like in business and just in life in general too, like that's all going to balance out here. So I think I'll leave that there. I hope that made sense. That was an interesting journey along the way. I personally liked it though. I do see that there's potential to get out of this thing, Scorpio. So if you liked it as well, hit that thumbs up button. If you know someone who's going through this hotness here, this to me is boiling a pot with no water in it. That's what this energy is. And if you know someone who's going through that, share that with them, Scorpio. Let's raise their vibration. Let's get them out there doing what they love. Hit that subscribe button, get the bell thing to let you know when you get notifications of when I upload videos. I'm on Facebook. And last thing, I don't think you got any Cancerian cards here, which is fine. You don't need one. But if you have Cancer in your chart, I know I picked up on that Pisces in your chart. But if you got some Cancer in your chart, and maybe you're dealing with someone in business who's a Cancer, hopefully they're not one who's causing you this frustration here. I hopefully not. But come over to the Chariot and Friends. You know, that's we discuss all things Cancerian energy. I do stuff based off the lunar phases. We talk about the signs when she goes void. Of course, it's just a good old time. And all of this housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get your surprise card so I can get you out of here. Look what you got. Victory. 6 of Wands, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, we've been, because this again, this was tough. You know, we've been going through it. If this was resonating with you, this was a lot to take on. But look at that. We've taken the steps. And you remember I was talking about Jupiter. This is Jupiter and Leo here. So now we've gotten that win, and we can be proud that we've gotten over this thing. You know, that this right here is what I was talking about with your strength here. Doing what you love and not focusing on what you're frustrated on, focusing on what you love. That's how we get to this thing here. Thank you for that. That's how we bring that home. I'm leaving it there. Stay safe out there, Scorpio. And you raise that vibration through the roof. And I will catch you on the next one later.